Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Chloe Thaler.
And I'm Ellie McCoy.
One student is dead and one is injured after a shooting at Birmingham High School. 17-year-old Cortland Arrington died after being shot. A 17-year-old male who is believed to be the shooter suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound and was released into police custody after being treated.
Police initially said that the shooting was accidental, but the incident was captured on video and led police to believe it may have been intentional. Huffman High School was closed today as the investigation continues.
Eagle Eye's Hannah McClure went out to Auburn High School where concerns have been raised about all the glass at the school.
After the recent Florida shooting and Wednesday's Birmingham shooting, parents and students are once again raising concern about the glass walls at Auburn High School. The school, which opened this year, has several classrooms with full glass walls looking out onto a hallway. Many of the outer walls of the school are also entirely made of windows. According to Opelika Auburn News, the school district is currently looking at new safety precautions, such as bullet-resistant spray, to better protect the students at school. At Auburn High School, I'm Hannah McClure.
The Birmingham shooting came just one day after Governor Ivey unveiled her Smart On Safety initiative that is aimed at enhancing school safety and security across the state. The initiative includes 4 key elements: secured schools to support local school officials meeting their own safety needs, the We Know Our Kids element to ensure that schools intervene in lives of at-risk students before they act violently, the emergency operations plan to ensure that school personnel is able to act immediately and efficiently before first responders arrive, and the Securing Alabama Facilities of Education Council that will report to the governor to implement her school safety priorities.
The new initiative is intended to be flexible and will be added to upon the recommendation of the Safe Council and others. It comes in the wake of the Florida school shooting and calls across the country to enhance school safety.
Auburn University officials are meeting with student groups over concerns following an Honors College event that invited the president of the White Student Union to speak. The event included a screening of a documentary on white supremacists and a presentation from the president of the White Student Union, an Auburn student who uses the alias Wyatt Mann.
Mann was originally set to appear in person at the event, but opted to deliver his message via Skype audio in order to conceal his identity. The meeting drew the attention of faculty, staff, and students who sent a letter expressing their concerns to Auburn President Stephen Leaf and the Provost Bill Hardgrave.
Auburn University released a statement that said, "We do not support the beliefs expressed by the members of the White Student Union, a group that is not affiliated with the university, nor do we support our campus being a platform for the advancement of them." The White Student Union recently became the only hate group listed by On Southern Poverty Law Center's hate map that is directly affiliated with a university or using a university name.
Winter weather is back as the National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning for northern Alabama, including Lee County.
Temperatures are expected to be in the low 30s Friday morning. The freeze warning will remain in effect until 8 a.m. on Friday.
Opelika police are looking for a suspect in a Monday night armed robbery. The suspect entered a La Poblanita supermarket on Pepperell Parkway at approximately 9 p.m. and demanded money.
The suspect is described as a black male, approximately 6'1" and weighing about 140 pounds. He was armed with a firearm and was last seen wearing a camouflage face mask, black sweater, camouflage pants, and black shoes. No one was injured and the suspect fled on foot. Anyone with information is urged to call the Opelika police.
Former White House Chief of Staff for President George W. Bush, Andrew Card, spoke on campus Wednesday about leadership.
Card is well known for being the one to tell President Bush that America was under attack on September 11, 2001, as Bush was reading to a class of second graders in Florida.
President Bush was elected by the Supreme Court in a very controversial election. His leadership at a time of unparalleled challenge for the country, 9/11, 2001, demonstrated the value of our country coming together for a greater cause. And we were a very united country after 9/11, even though there was controversy. We also went through an election cycle where there could be partisan politics, but it was not divisive. And I think we should get back to that. I would like to see, when I started in government, the rug of American politics had more rug than fringe. Today I think there's more fringe than rug. And I think President Bush's leadership demonstrated that people with strong philosophical views can find a way to work together if they have the courage to talk to each other and recognize there is more common solution than there is opposition.
Card's lesson on leadership speech was presented by the Harbert College of Business. Coming up, a look at madness to come in men's basketball this month.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Hi, Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Men's basketball officially closed out their regular season and have moved into postseason play. I'm Jade Nevitt with sports. Number 14 Auburn welcomed South Carolina Saturday to close out the regular season. The Tigers were also looking to take the SEC regular season title with a win over the Gamecocks. It was also senior night for Auburn, honoring lone senior team member Patrick Kahn. The Tigers struggled early, going 8 for 26 from the floor, but Horace Spencer would get things started with a slam off of a baseball pass from Davion Mitchell to put the Tigers within 2. Bryce Brown would begin to heat up for the first time in 4 games. Brown would bury back-to-back left corner threes to close the deficit to 1 point before half. Brown would open the second half right where he left off, hitting another corner three to give the Tigers a 46-43 lead. And from there, it was all Auburn, with Sava Heron steals the win with a one-handed slam. Auburn gets the win, 79-70 over the Gamecocks to win the SEC regular season title.
You know, the guys wanted to make history. They truly, truly did. We hung in there early when they were playing great and we were playing awful. We finally started to attack out of some spacing. Bryce Brown got back to doing what he does, and as if he can say it, he can make it.
With their win over South Carolina, the Tigers finished 13-5 in the SEC, giving them a share of the conference regular season title with Tennessee. This is Auburn's first SEC title since 1999 and third in program history. Basketball got some more good news Tuesday, with several players receiving conference honors. Guards Bryce Brown and Jared Harper were named to the All-SEC second team, while forward Anthony McLemore was named to the SEC All-Defensive team. Brown finished the regular season second on the team and 8th in the league, averaging 16 points, 4 points per game. Harper also finished in the top 20 in scoring, averaging 13.9 points per game and averaging 15.2 in league play. McLemore had his season end early due to injury on February 17th, but managed to still lead the SEC in blocks with 73. It's playoff time, which means the SEC tournament is in full swing. With their regular season title, the Tigers were awarded the number 1 seed. Because Auburn is the number 1 seed, they are automatically in the quarterfinal. The Tigers take the court tomorrow at noon, taking on Alabama, who won earlier today. All Auburn's tournament games can be seen on ESPN. Last night, both Georgia and South Carolina advanced to the second round. In today's action, both Alabama and Georgia have advanced to the quarterfinals. LSU and Mississippi State have just taken the court from their 6 p.m. tip. Their matchup will be followed by an 8 p.m. game between South Carolina and Arkansas. To stay up to date on all your Auburn sports, go to our website eagleeyeauburn.com or follow us on Twitter at EETV_sports. After the break, see what you can do to stay safe over spring break. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Fans, direct your attention to the flagpole for a special presentation.
You never really leave Auburn, because Auburn never leaves you.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I hope that you've been able to learn a strong work ethic surrounded by character, integrity, perseverance, so that when your 1 second comes, you'll be prepared for it.
Chris Davis.
45, there goes Davis! Your 1 second, our 1 second is now. And our lives have been guided by the principles of one of the greatest academic institutions in the country, Auburn University.
Auburn's 6th annual Entrepreneur Conference will feature Stacy Brown from Chicken Salad Chick. Brown founded Chicken Salad Chick in Auburn, and after having it initially shut down, she now has over 60 franchises throughout the South. She will be the keynote speaker at the conference in Auburn Research Park. The event is sponsored by the Alabama Cooperative Extension System and Auburn University's Food Systems Institute.
Every month, Auburn University's Critical Conversations invites distinguished scholars, journalists, and thought leaders to speak on intriguing and hot-button topics with the goal to cultivate intellectual and progressive conversation on campus. Wednesday, Reshma Sajani in the Student Center Ballroom spoke about Women Can. Sajani is the founder and CEO of national nonprofit organization Girls Who Code, with a goal to close the gender gap in technology and STEM professions by teaching young women all across the nation how to code. However, her goal is more than just Girls Who Code. In her talk, Sajani emphasized the concept of bravery, not perfection.
She told us that it was okay to fail. And I know as a college student, and especially a girl on campus, I'm terrified of failure, and I always feel like I need to prove myself to be worthy enough to succeed in the field that I would love to work in. And I think it was really beneficial to both girls and boys to hear that failure is okay.
As students get ready to leave Auburn this spring break, Eagle Eye TV's Ken Ward has some tips to keep you safe.
Auburn University's spring break starts Friday, and with spring break comes the risk of accidents.
Certainly, the safest approach is to just not do dangerous activities, or in particular don't drive if you're drinking at all. The problem with alcohol is the absorption is variable. It's hard to predict how much alcohol you need to be legally drunk. So the safest approach is just, if you've been drinking, don't drive until you're certain you've metabolized all that alcohol in your system.
According to the CDC, alcohol-related vehicle crashes kill a person every 31 minutes. Officials urge those drinking to stay off the roadways and exercise caution in order to avoid crashes and possible death.
What we see is a lot of traffic and a lot of travel, so what students and what people need to understand is they're not going to be the only ones on the highways. And unfortunately, when we see an increase in traffic, the increase is there for the likelihood that there are going to be crashes and possibly injuries or deaths, unfortunately.
Medical officials say that if someone is intoxicated and acting strangely, to be sure to take them to the nearest emergency room as soon as possible.
Anybody that's that intoxicated, they can't control their bodily functions, meaning their ability to speak, sit up, walk. If it's that bad, they need to go to a hospital and be observed until that resolves.
Law enforcement leaders remind students especially that the consequences of 1 week of bad decisions could follow them the rest of their lives.
Understand that spring break lasts 1 week, okay, versus the rest of your life. So is it worth that 1 week of fun to do something possibly irresponsible that could cost you or cost somebody else the most precious thing that we're given, and that's life? So understand that, yeah, we want people to enjoy recreation, want people to have fun, but do so responsibly so you can continue to enjoy spring breaks down the road, summer vacations coming up, or the holidays coming up, whatever the case may be. It's just 1 week. So in the big scheme of things, it's not really that important.
Reporting in Auburn, this is Ken Ward with Eagle Eye TV.
Officials also advise you to stay buckled up and avoid potentially dangerous situations.
Phoenix City resident William Anthony Gosha III, aka Boo Boo, was sentenced to 30 years in prison for his role on masterminding multiple stolen identity refund fraud schemes. Gosha was convicted of 22 counts of mail fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, and 25 counts of aggravated identity theft. Gosha ran a large-scale identity theft ring and was tricking the IRS into paying out $9 million.
This week's Pet of the Week is Bodie. Bodie is a 4-year-old male who loves to cuddle. He is very laid back and great with dogs.
Bodie is a member of the Lonely Hearts Club at the Lee County Humane Society, so he is available for adoption for just $25.
After the break, a look at the oldest message in a bottle ever found. See how old it is up next.
You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Even the best of us forget sometimes. But buckling up is one thing you always want to remember.
Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
"132 years after being tossed in the Indian Ocean, the world's oldest message in a bottle was recently discovered in Australia. The message inside was written in German and revealed the bottle was a part of an 1886 experiment on ocean drift patterns.
The family who found the bottle while on a walk on the beach brought it to the Western Australia Museum, where researchers discovered its origins and message. The last bottle found from this experiment was discovered in 1934. That's really cool that it made it all the way from Germany to Australia.
It really is. Imagine us finding one of those.
I know. I wonder if they could read it too. Like, how'd they figure out it was German? But
that's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to keep up to date with all the latest news by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Eagle Eye TV and online at eagleeyeauburn.com. And download our new Alexa skill to hear all the latest headlines. I'm Chloe Thaler.
And I'm Ellie McCoy. Thanks for joining us in War Eagle.